Creating the perfect scene here. What the hell is up? My name is Jamie Logan. We are here at Yale University and we are showing people a new delicious product called Hue Milk, which is human breast milk. So instead of sucking from a cow udder, why not suck from your own species? We have a whole menu set up here from human breast milk cheese, human breast milk yogurt, A2 Hue Milk, skimmed Hue Milk, all the goodies. I mean, how could you pass that up? Students are loving this demonstration that we have going on here. I mean, how could you not? And I mean, we really are going all out. We're telling people about our farm back home. Human breast milk at Yale University, baby. So freshly squeezed, of course. So Sarah and Diane are pumping out in the parking lot, ready to give some students at Yale University some samples of human breast milk. Because when you really think about it, why is drinking milk from a human strange if you drink milk from a cow? Come on. Like, there's something weird about this. Do you know what I mean? There's something really fucking strange about this. If you're gonna drink milk, drink it from a fellow human, somebody that can consent. Or you could just drink plant milk, okay? But to do this from a cow is just... something's up. Something's going on there. Something's wrong. Would you drink milk from a giraffe? Or have giraffe milk ice cream? Would you drink milk from a rat? What about from a dog? Probably not. The most normal thing would be if there was a baby drinking milk from that giraffe, or a baby giraffe drinking milk from its mother giraffe, or a baby rat drinking rat milk from its mom. Police. So what we're doing here at Yale University is selling human breast milk. So not from cows, not milk from cows, but milk made from humans for humans. Hue Milk. And we have our pumps, and we are here to engage students in a conversation to get them thinking about how this idea of drinking milk and having dairy products from cows has been normalized. But why? It's so weird. It's so strange. And it's so cruel. And so what we're here to inform people about really is the devastating facts and figures of the dairy industry. Of the dairy industry that uses and abuses cows.
It's delicious.
So, one of the flyers that we have here is "Got pus, cruelty in every glass." And that is the truth. That is the truth of what happens when we drink milk from cows. But when we drink milk from humans, I mean, honey, it's great. And it's consensual. And so that is why we have a whole menu here set up for students at Yale University. Hue Milk cheese, Hue Milk yogurt. I mean, only $3.99 a cup. It doesn't get cheaper than that. Not only that, but dairy products are extremely inflammatory. They make us sick. They hurt animals, and it's really bad for the planet as well. So if you haven't caught on already, this is just a spoof. We're not actually selling human breast milk on college campus, but why would that be any more weird or strange than taking breast milk from a species that's not even our own? When you can just have plant-based milk products that are kind to the animals, to the planet. It's like, let babies drink from their mothers. Do you guys know how the dairy industry works? Mother cows are artificially inseminated against their will. They have rods stuck up their behind that injects them with bull semen. And then 9 months later, they're impregnated. They have their babies taken away from them. And then they're all killed in the end. The male calves are killed at just a few weeks old because they don't go on to produce milk. And then the mother cows are killed after their milk production slows down. The dairy industry is a slaughter industry. So we're here at Yale University with this demo called HuMilk, human breast milk, to just get people to consider how they've been conditioned to think that drinking milk is normal because we've been told to do that from a young age. But really, how strange actually is it when we consider that if we wouldn't drink human milk, why are we drinking cow's milk? So we have this, this is like what you look like when you're drinking cow's milk or cow's cheese. So Alicia wants to know, are the women killed after they collapse from being force impregnated and traumatized by removing their baby? Yes, they are. There's the only humane milk factory is one that is made from plants. I can get less than $2 for milk down the store. I would like to buy your product if you can lower the price in this economy. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. You can get a really cheap gallon of soy milk.
Yeah.
Why are adults still breastfeeding? Peter, that's what I want to know. Why are adults still breastfeeding, let alone from a cow? From a cow. So it's super interesting how we've just been so brainwashed by the dairy industry. So milk is not good. Milk is extremely cruel and it's really bad for you. And in fact, we're here with Patrick Baboumian. He's behind Benny. He's like over here. And he's Germany's strongest man. And he was vegetarian. So he consumed dairy products for many years and he was really iron deficient. And when he went vegan, he actually, every level went up. His blood work was fine. He was no longer iron deficient. And it was because the dairy was not allowing him to absorb the iron. Dairy creates an extremely acidic environment in our bodies. And look, as adults, we're not meant to have breast milk past infancy. Breast milk is, especially cow's milk, is full of a lot of hormones, and it is meant to make a baby cow grow to be a big cow. So it is carcinogenic to our body. It causes cancer, you guys. Milk is meant for growing babies. And milk from your own species. There's no species in the world. There's no species in the world. She's curious how we get the breast milk. There's no species in the world that drinks milk from another species, except humans. We're insane. We're just so weird. So here's some of the conversations. So kind of what we're doing here is putting humans in the place of the animals. Like, would it be okay if human beings were raped and then had their babies taken away and then milk stolen from them and then impregnated again and then all killed in the end? No, we probably wouldn't like that very much. We would probably be really sad if that happened to us. Yet we do this to billions of cows every goddamn day. So consider the plant-based alternative. It's really not that hard to reach your arm like 3 inches over in the milk aisle to buy oat milk, almond milk, rice milk, hemp milk, soy milk. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You do not need to buy the same old cruel dairy milk product that is a thing of the past. And dairy is not just milk, it's also cheese, it's also ice cream, it's yogurt. And so really thinking through, like, how are your actions impacting others? How are you affecting others? And nowadays there's so many great plant-based alternatives. You can still have that cheese, you can still have that ice cream, you can still have whatever it is that you love, but substitute it with that plant-based alternative. and it's delicious, and you don't get cramps and diarrhea and all sorts of issues from breast milk that's not made for you. Let's see what kind of questions we got. Okay. Good for you if you're vegan, but there are bigger problems in the world. In terms of scale, this is the biggest problem. There are trillions of living beings, sentient individuals who feel pain, that are forced to their deaths, that have their lives taken from them for a sandwich, for a bag, for a pair of shoes. They suffer just like us. And in terms of scale and the scope of this issue, that it relates to the environment. It relates to human rights. Look at the people that are working in these industries. It relates to so many other things. This is the biggest issue. And I think in terms of when we look at like the root of problems, the root of all problems is that some lives matter less. So if we can learn to respect an animal like a cow, other animals, because humans are animals, right? If we can learn to respect cows, we can surely look at each other and respect one another. So there are people that are interested in trying our human breast milk, our milk, freshly squeezed from our enslaved human mothers. And there are some great conversations being had. We have some breast pumps here. Lovely. And we have some flyers. So if you drink cow's milk, you're gonna have pus in every glass. There's actually a certain amount of pus that is allowed to be in milk. It's actually like billions of cells. It's disgusting. And I love this little representation, this model that we have here of a human under a cow. So Robert says, I'll take a gallon. Okay, Robert, why don't you just get your little ass underneath the cow here and start sucking from the cow udder? That's extremely concerning. And yes, you do need to take your medication. So we're here live, we're on YouTube. People are starting to roll in for us. Why don't I wish we could stand in front of the Hugh Milk demo. Come. Okay, so for us, tell me a little bit about what we're here doing today and what group you founded.
Yeah, we are pretending that we are selling human breast milk. It's from volunteers, and sometimes we have actually samples for people to try. And the reaction that we get, students are oftentimes like disgusted. They're like, ew, human milk? But the point that we are making is that if it's so gross to have human milk, then why do we put cow's breast milk in our coffee or make cheese from it? It is weird, but that's a gateway for us to actually talk to people about cruelty in dairy industry. It is weird, but that's not why we are against it. We are against it because it causes a lot of suffering, cruelty, and death. So we just had a vegetarian who stopped by. Vegetarians think that they're no longer a part of exploitation, but really when we replace meat with dairy, we just go from one form of exploitation to another, because all the cows eventually have to be killed. Male cows, they don't produce milk, so they're always killed in dairy industry. I've done a lot of investigations. Jamie has done investigations, and all the female ones are eventually killed too.
I just wanted to give you guys a visual representation. So we're going to be having amazing conversations with Yale students on campus. It's kind of incredible to me that people that go to Ivy League schools don't even know how the dairy industry works, yet they're eating these products multiple times a day. It's insane. Like, educate yourself on these horrible systems that you're funding. So again, the advertisements, the meat, dairy, and egg industries have done such a good job at tricking us and lying to us about what's happening to other animals on this planet. So this demo is really meant to be thought-provoking. It's funny, it's lighthearted, and it's shocking, and it draws people in. But it just kind of goes to show and points out how brainwashed we've been. Because why is it shocking to drink milk from your own species when you're drinking milk from another species? But again, you shouldn't be drinking breast milk past infancy. Dr. Faraz, he's a doctor. He could tell you how bad it is for your body too.
Yeah, so milk has a lot of hormones. It has lactose. It can increase risk of certain cancers. It has saturated fat. Cheese is basically concentrated saturated fat that can increase the risk of heart disease. But at the end of the day, I saw someone said, I like milk. We did too. But when you look at it, you didn't choose to like milk or meat, eggs, dairy, none of that. It's lots of propaganda and brainwashing and advertisement by dairy. Because if got milk, do you really think that the dairy industry cares about your health? The whole thing is a campaign to make you think that you need dairy to survive. Like, how brainwashed have we become that we think that this is the only source of protein or calcium? As if in nature there is any other animal that relies on milk of another species to get their calcium from.
Right. And it actually leaches calcium from your body because milk and dairy products create such an acidic environment in your body. They're extremely inflammatory. And so why not switch to the kinder plant-based alternative? And we really go all out with these demos, you guys, to get that shock factor. That is a blow-up cow and that is a blow-up human. And students love it. Hello. Would you like to learn more about what we're doing here today?
I'll take a picture.
Do you drink milk from cows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is milk from humans. It's made for humans by humans. And so every time you drink milk from a cow, that's kind of what you're doing.
I thought the concept was insane when Are you on?
I'm on live, yeah. YouTube live. Hi.
Okay, hi. I thought the concept was insane when I first saw it, but I guess when you think about it, yeah.
Yeah. So we are giving out some more information on what has to happen in the dairy industry, but we're saying if you could get milk from consenting humans, why not do that and avoid so much of the suffering? Because every single dairy product, it means that a baby had to be born.
Yeah.
Because it's breast milk. And so when the baby's born and we're taking that milk, that means that the baby is not getting that milk and they're killed. So not only is it cruel to the animals, all the dairy cows are slaughtered as well, but it's bad for our bodies. It causes many different diseases and it's bad for the environment too. So we're here saying try out some of the alternatives. You could still have cream cheese, you could still have milk, yogurt, except nobody had to suffer for it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Could you mass produce milk from human beings? Are there enough people that would be willing to give out their...
So I think if we were to compare it to the dairy industry, that would mean I would have to breed women into existence.
Yeah.
I would have to jerk off males. I would have to artificially inseminate that semen into that woman because they don't mate naturally in any of these industries. And then that woman 9 months later would have her baby. That mother would have to be separated from her young and milked all day long, basically. They deal with a lot of issues like mastitis, which is the inflammation of the udders. And there's blood, there's pus that gets inside there. And then over and over again be milked until her production slows down and she's ultimately killed.
Yeah.
So hopefully we wouldn't do this to humans.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully we can just switch to the plant-based alternative and it's better for you.
Better for everyone.
And everyone. Yeah. Have you thought about going vegan?
Vegetarian. I think I try to avoid cruelty. I feel like vegan would be very difficult for me.
But who's it harder for, you or the animals?
Cows. Yeah. It's probably a lot harder for the cows.
Yeah. So we're really not advocating for vegetarianism because dairy and eggs are extremely cruel. All the animals are killed in those industries. So it's really just about rejecting the idea of exploitation of other animals fully.
Yeah. I think something more expansive than veganism that has some animal products and maybe advocating for more humanitarian, donating to causes that are more into humanity. That's something I would go for. I don't know about straight up veganism, but I think this made me think.
Good. I'm glad it made you think. We want people to take action now. And it's like every single glass of milk, every like tiny piece of animal product, whether you have it once a week or even a bite of cheese, it means somebody had to die.
Yeah.
So we're not really advocating for reducing, we're really advocating for putting your morals and actions aligned and to every day fight against the abuse.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get black coffee then.
Or oat milk coffee.
Okay, that's also true.
He's gonna get oat milk in his coffee now.
I'll get oat milk coffee. Bye, guys.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's just kind of how some of the conversations go. I hope you can hear, there's a truck here, so it is a little loud. And if you are loving my channel, if you like some of this content, help me buy a microphone, donate to my Patreon, please. I need to get a mic that plugs into my phone so I can do more of these live streams, because I like chatting with you guys. So yeah, it's so interesting. There's a lot of people that will come over and they'll say, oh, I'll do meatless Mondays, or oh, like I could get a black coffee today. And it's like, okay, that's a step in the right direction, but we're really not advocating for little incremental changes here and there. We're advocating for animal liberation and to take this idea of rejecting that exploitation all the time, not just some of the time. Because if you were that victim, what would you want? Would you want somebody trying to find more humane ways to hurt you, or would you want them to not do it at all, right? So somebody said, I don't think she's vegan. I absolutely am vegan, and hence the glow, hence the energy, and I will never not be vegan. I went vegan 8 years ago, and it was the best decision of my life. I was not always vegan. I ate all sorts of animal products, wore leather shoes. I had cosmetics that were tested on animals, all sorts of things, and I really do regret those days. I really do. So, yeah, somebody said, you can tell she's vegan, she hasn't shut up about it. Exactly. How do you know somebody's vegan? They'll tell you. Of course I'm gonna tell you, because this is one of the most pressing issues of our time, and not enough people are talking about it. And I do feel that somebody's got to be a voice for the animals, because if we're not, the dairy industry or the egg or the meat industry, they're not going to tell you the truth of what's going on. So here is our, for people that are just joining, I'll just show you our little demo that we have going on here. So this is what human beings look like when they drink milk or eat ice cream or yogurt or any sort of dairy products. So we're saying, is it strange to drink milk from a human? Christian. Let's ask Christian what he has going on. If you guys have questions too, we're happy to answer them. Thanks for those of you that are open-minded. It's important to be open-minded. Again, we were not always vegan. We were not always vegan. But true. When you know better, you do better. And so we have there's 135 people on here right now.
Hello, everyone.
And so Christian is also part of this demo that he's set up, where we're selling human breast milk at Yale University and having great conversations with students. So what is the message that you hope to achieve with today's demo at Yale?
Yeah, so we really, especially the last couple days with dog meat, things like that, a lot of times we run into vegetarians on campus, and it's really important that it's not just about these animals dying, it's not about them being killed or their suffering, it's really about their exploitation. It's this fundamental idea that we're entitled to them, that they belong to us, that they are just a product, right? We want them to see them as individuals and respect them as such. And so I think human milk really helps bridge that gap between, and on top of it, you know, in the dairy industry, these animals do die, right? But a lot of people don't know that, and this is a great way to expose them to that truth, but also to help them realize that they wouldn't feel entitled to a human woman's milk, right?
No.
It doesn't belong to them, even if they gave her a great life.
Who are you to just grab onto somebody's boobs and take milk from them? Do you know? Like, so why are you doing that to other females of other species? It's really strange. Somebody said in here, but what about almond milk? Doesn't it use a lot of water? How would you respond to that?
Yeah, so cow's milk still takes a lot more water, right? Cows drink up a lot of water. They're very large animals. And on top of that, if you're concerned about the water usage, go to oat, go to soy, right? You can get these alternatives if you're concerned about the water usage, but cow's milk is definitely worse. It's undoubtedly worse in terms of water usage. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're really here to always bring it back to the cruelty of the animals that the animals have to endure in all the industries that use and exploit them, and to give people an alternative to say we don't have to do this anymore. So these are some of the common excuses in this pamphlet of like why people don't go vegan, and so I'll read some of them out because there are some of you here that I guess have questions about it still. So some people will say because it tastes good, right? There's some of you on here that say it tastes so good, like I could never. Okay, does your pleasure justify hurting others? Like a rapist enjoys raping, does that make it okay? Is it okay to kick a dog just for my pleasure? Vegans eat burgers, pizza, tacos, and ice cream just like you. So you can get pleasure from other sources that don't have a victim. What about lions? Some of you guys are lions on here in the comment section. Well, lions don't have a choice or a moral compass. You do. You don't live in a jungle where there are no supermarkets and restaurants with fruits, vegetables, and vegan options. This is true. Okay, so protein. Protein, you guys must be wondering about protein and where does it come from? How am I still alive? Well, I will tell you. Okay, all plants have all 20 amino acids. For example, soy and quinoa are complete proteins. Vegans can easily get enough proteins from legumes, soy, nuts, mushroom, and grains. If vegan athletes can get their protein from plants, so can you. Woo! So anyway, this goes through all the excuses. We've heard many of them, and it just kind of goes to show how brainwashed our society is from the advertising, from the meat, dairy, and egg industries. But for those of you guys that are just joining, we're at Yale University and we're selling human breast milk to students on campus. And what we've noticed is a lot of students are pretty shocked by this demo. They're shocked at the idea of human breast milk. Yet what's so strange is that they drink breast milk from cows, which makes no sense. There is literally no other species on planet Earth that drinks breast milk past infancy, let alone from another species. Can someone in the comment section please make it make sense to me? Why are people drinking milk from cows? Would you drink milk from a giraffe? Would you drink milk from a dog? Would you drink milk from a rat? Why or why not? So somebody's asking about soy. Soy is a phytoestrogen. It does not affect human hormones. Phyto means plant. Soy is a superfood. It is so good for you. And it's a complete protein. And also for anybody that says soy makes your boobs bigger, I can attest, unfortunately, it does not. Unfortunately. I wish it did. If it did, hell, it would be like the #1 selling drink on the market, you know? So, yeah, when it comes to milk products, we should be drinking plant-based milk products. Soy is amazing. Now, if you're really worried about hormones, you guys, dairy milk is full of hormones, and dairy milk causes man boobs because dairy is from a lactating female mother. It's full of estrogen, and it's meant to make a baby cow grow to be thousands of pounds, hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So listen, for your own health, stay away from the dairy cheese, from the dairy milk. It's a carcinogen. It causes cancer. It causes inflammation in your body. Switching to plant-based alternatives like almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, hemp milk, cashew milk, they're delicious and they're better for you. You feel good after eating them. We're also here with, oh yeah, there is a police car there, but they're fine. So we're here with Patrick Baboumian. Hey Patrick. He won Germany's Strongest Man in 2011. And Patrick, why don't you tell people why soy milk is the better alternative, the better option? Some people are concerned about estrogen on here. And
Yeah, so if you're concerned about estrogen, you should consider that dairy milk is actually from a mammalian breast, and it has actual mammalian estrogens. The estrogen in soy milk is, first of all, it's minuscule, the amounts, so it's basically impossible to actually ingest enough soy products to get any effect by the phytoestrogens that are in there. But also the effect that you're going to get is actually going to be an anti-estrogenic effect, if there is not any, because the estrogen is not, the molecule of a phytoestrogen is not exactly built like the molecule of mammalian estrogen. So while it can go to the receptor, it cannot activate the estrogen receptor. So it doesn't have an estrogenic effect. Instead, it blocks the receptor and doesn't let mammalian estrogen get dock there, which you already have in your body. And so if it even would have an effect, it would be an anti-estrogenic effect, but like the amounts that are in soy products are just not enough to make any effect. So nothing's gonna happen.
And you drink soy milk all the time. Have you noticed any breast growth or
no boobs.
No
boobs here.
No boobs. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Thank you for clarifying. Okay. So it's, you know, with the soy myths, it's, you got to start looking at who's funding some of these studies and research, because the dairy industry has put out so many smear campaigns to trick people and to fool us, and it's really sad because they don't care about your health, they don't care about the animals, all they care about is making money. It's all about making money. So why do you want to be part of and support an industry that only cares about that? Why not make decisions on your own, use critical thinking, and not just go along with what everybody says? So yes, as a little girl, I was told to drink milk. I was told that I need it for strong bones. My parents made me put it in a glass and drink it, and it was because that's what they were told. But research and studies have shown just how bad it is for human consumption, and now learning about what has to happen to the animals and how all the dairy cows are killed, it's so not worth it. So somebody said, I want to tell you, let's see. What are your views on human sacrifice? I'm not here to talk about human sacrifice. I'm really here to talk about what happens to cows in the dairy industry and in all the industries in which we use and abuse animals. And I'm here to talk about rejecting the idea of exploiting others for our own purpose. This idea that we should be dominating and hurting others when we don't have to anymore is a thing of the past. We need to look to the future, and instead of trying to just take, how can we instead give to others, serve others, be kind to the planet? So, what else? What other questions do we have? Somebody called me a fruitcake. I want to tell your fruitcake in you to get your information from Dr. Google. I think it's important to get your information from peer-reviewed studies, multiple studies, but really looking into who is funding those studies and that research. So if you've come across a study that says that dairy milk is good for you, you should probably look into who's funding that. And I can almost guarantee that it's the dairy industry, the people that are profiting from you drinking those products, that are funding those studies. And so if you have any questions about a well-balanced plant-based diet, of how much healthier it can be, check it out. But truly asking yourself if it's strange to you to drink human breast milk at this age, why is it not strange to drink cow's milk at this age? It's been normalized, right? It's been pushed on us through advertisements and television, but at the end of the day, it is cruel, it's unhealthy, and yeah, that doesn't look very appetizing to me, and neither does this. So stop sucking on udders, grow up, not your mom, not your fucking milk. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. What studies? Cite your sources. You could check out the China study. That's a really great study, but I go to pcrm.org for a lot of my research. And different studies have, different sources. So they are listed on there. So really look into that, and pcrm.org if you are interested. But again, the fact that plant-based milk is healthier, that's great. But we're really here to bring it back to the idea that we shouldn't be exploiting cows or other animals for our own purposes when we don't need to anymore. So always bring it back to the ethics and back to the animals. So I appreciate you guys. Maybe I'll answer a few more questions before I go. So somebody said, what do you eat your cereal with? So I really like oat milk. Soy milk is also really great. And those are the two that I would say that I like the best. But what's great to also try is making your own cashew milk. Cashew milk, I soak a few cashews in water overnight or just for a few hours, and then I blend it with water, and it's really delicious. You could put like a date in there, like a medjool date, and it adds a touch of sweetness, and it's creamy and really good. And I love making that myself. So yeah, cashew milk. So somebody says, so you're telling me oats don't have feelings. You killed oats. Okay, so if you think oats have feelings, I don't know what to tell you. I think you're too far gone. How many species are killed to create and maintain soy fields? So there are definitely crop deaths involved in all agriculture production. But 77% of soy products are actually crops that are grown to feed farmed animals. So you can greatly reduce casualties and greatly reduce your harm by going vegan. I hope that answers things. So somebody's commenting, free Palestine, free Palestine. Free all living beings, actually. I don't advocate for wars. I want peace on this planet. I think the root of suffering is that some lives matter less. And I think we need to start treating animals with respect as well. So actually, yes, we don't want harm happening to anyone. So did the soy industry fund me? No, I mean, I'm not advocating for soy more than I'm advocating for oat milk, rice milk, hemp milk. I mean, I'm just advocating for kinder alternatives, plant-based alternatives that don't cause suffering for animals. So really placing yourself in the position of one of these animals. Oops. Making a mess here. So we have flyers, got pus, cruelty in every glass. You've probably heard of the Got Milk campaigns. And really like asking yourself, if you were in this animal's position, how urgently would you want the abuse to end? Would you want somebody eating less of you or exploiting you part of the time, only drinking milk once or twice a week, or would you want them not doing it at all? So for every bite of cheese, every glass of milk, every single animal product, an animal had to die. And that individual, to them, it doesn't matter how often you're doing it. If it were only happening to one animal, it's still wrong. But the fact that it's happening to billions every single year is just, it's unfathomable, really. And the fact that people on here defend it and joke about it and are very brainwashed by the industries, it's sad. But I think being open-minded is important, and being open to just hearing other perspectives, other messages. And that's why we're here today at Yale University talking to students on campus. And we are trying to get them to think about their choices and how they impact others. And so that's the beauty of this demo called Hugh Milk. You could set one up on a college campus near you. And we have a menu with Hugh Milk cheese, Hugh Milk yogurt, Hugh Milk ice cream. And we're just trying to get people to really think about why is it weird to have dairy products from humans but not strains for cows? And that points out the deep brainwashing and conditioning that we've had. So guys, follow me, subscribe to me. We'll talk more about these things. I'm gonna be trying to go live often, a couple times a week. So I'm happy to be challenged. I want you guys to ask me questions. I want you to think through these things. At one point, I was not always vegan, and I had to start asking myself the same questions. And so I appreciate when you come and we can have a discussion about this. So thanks so much for watching, and you can subscribe to me. Jamie's Corner is my channel, and Allied Scholars is the group that I'm here with today. They go to college universities and talk to students about these issues. And you can also support me on Patreon. That's the way that I'm able to do all of this work. So thank you so much, and go vegan! Not your mom, not your milk.